There is something strangely familiar in modern football. The same situations, the same circumstances, the same types of victories and defeats, but change the name of the club. And suddenly, the narrative changes completely. And Arsenal somehow always end up on the wrong side of sympathy. When Arsenal suffer an injury crisis, when teenagers and young players are forced to carry an entire season on their shoulders, the label is immediate, inexperienced. A nursery team, not ready to win titles, but when another club goes through the same situation, when opponents are weakened and results still come, it is called luck, good timing, or champions riding momentum. When Arsenal are on the wrong end of refereeing decisions, goals disallowed, penalties ignored, red cards appearing at the worst possible moments, the reaction is ruthless. Stop crying if you're good enough. You'll win anyway. Excuses show weakness. Yet when it happens to others, especially clubs favored by media narratives, the tone shifts instantly. The referee cleared the path for Arsenal. The league wants a new champion. VAR is protecting them. When Arsenal defend deep and counterattack, they're accused of playing dirty football, of abandoning beauty, of betraying the game. But when other teams do the same, it becomes game intelligence, knowing when to suffer. The mentality of champions. When Arsenal score from set pieces, from corners rehearsed endlessly on the training ground, critics cry, "This is ruining football." All they have is dead ball situations. But when others score in exactly the same way, it's suddenly a tactical weapon. The difference maker, a mark of elite coaching. In football, everyone wants to be the hero, and the media always needs a villain. They chose Arsenal. But Arsenal throughout their history have never chosen to play the victim. They chose to keep moving forward. In this season, that journey has taken them to a position that cannot be denied. League Cup semi-final. Chelsea, a rival that is never comfortable, no matter their form. The second leg, the clock ticking deep into stoppage time, tension gripping the Emirate Stadium. And then, Kai Havertz, a name once questioned, once doubted, once dissected endlessly by pundits and fans alike. One moment, one touch, one goal. In the final seconds of stoppage time, 1-2-0 on the night, 4-2-2 on aggregate. No excessive celebration. No loud declarations. Just a familiar feeling for Arsenal supporters. We've overcome another obstacle. Arsenal are through to the League Cup final. But football never offers joy without consequence. Almost immediately, bad news strikes. Mikel Merino, the quiet warrior in midfield, suffers a broken foot. Surgery. Season over. Not a headline-grabbing injury, but a deeply painful one. Because Arsenal this season are not overflowing with depth. Every fit player matters. Every injury forces sacrifice, adjustment, and resilience. At this moment, Arsenal fans are left with one hope. That Declan Rice stays healthy. That the heartbeat of midfield keeps beating until the final match day. That fate does not test them further. Because what Arsenal have achieved so far, they have earned it. Top of the Premier League. 6 points clear of Manchester City. Into the League Cup final. Through the Champions League group stage with 8 wins from 8, a statement of authority, not luck, and still alive in the FA Cup. Not the most expensive squad. Not the most protected club. Not the media's chosen favorite, but the most resilient. This Arsenal side does not win through perfection. They win through endurance. Through silence in the face of doubt. Through answers delivered on the pitch. People may dislike Arsenal. They may question Arsenal. They may wait for Arsenal to fall. But one truth remains undeniable. Arsenal have not collapsed. And for those who truly love this club, that is enough. What makes this Arsenal team different is not just results. It's how they respond to pressure. In modern football, pressure breaks teams long before trophies are lost. Social media amplifies doubt. Pundits predict collapse weeks in advance. Every draw is framed as a crisis. Every defeat becomes the beginning of the end. Arsenal know this environment well. They've lived inside it for years. They've been told they were rebuilding, then told they were overachieving, then told they weren't ready. And when they finally challenged, they were told they would fall short. Again, but this season, something has changed. You can see it in the way they play when the score is tight. In the way they slow the game down when chaos threatens. In the way they protect narrow leads, not with panic, but with control. This is no longer a young team learning how to compete. This is a team that understands what is required to survive a title race. And at the center of it all stands Mikel Arteta, Not shouting promises, not demanding praise, but building something deeper than form. Belief. Arteta understands that winning a league is not about moments, it's about months. For long months where injuries will test depth, where decisions will be questioned, where fatigue will creep into legs and minds. That's why he speaks less about trophies, and more about how this team chooses to live, to play with joy, with courage, with absolute conviction, because belief, when shared by a squad and its supporters, becomes energy, and energy over time becomes momentum. This is why Arsenal's supporters matter now more than ever, not when the title is already secured, not when the final whistle confirms glory, but now, in the uncertainty, in the tension, in the moments where belief must exist before proof. Because Arsenal's journey has never been about taking the easy road. They have been doubted when they were strong, mocked when they were injured, accused when they adapted, and dismissed when they succeeded. Yet still, they stand, leading the Premier League, competing across every competition, not flawless, but fearless. And perhaps that is what unsettles people the most. Arsenal are not chasing validation. They are not asking for approval. They are simply doing the work. Week by week, game by game, moment by moment. No one knows how the season will end. Football never offers guarantees. But one thing is certain. This Arsenal team will not disappear quietly. History will still remember the resilience. This is Arsenal, not the villain, not the favorite, just a club that refuses to break, and the journey is far from over.